The scream echoed through the bright aisles of Walmart like a crack of thunder on a clear day, sharp enough to make heads turn and hearts jump. In the middle of that ordinary afternoon, under harsh white lights and between stacks of discounted cereal boxes, a tiny 6-year-old girl broke free from the crowd and ran with desperate speed straight into the arms of the last person anyone expected, a towering biker built like a wall of muscle, covered in tattoos, leather vest hanging heavy on his shoulders. For one suspended second, the whole store seemed to freeze, because the child did not flinch, did not hesitate, did not fear him at all. She clung to him like he was the only safe place left in the world. If you believe that kindness still exists in unexpected places, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel One Heart Stories, because stories like this are proof that second chances can change lives. The biker's name was Rowan Hale, a man whose presence usually made people cross the street or tighten their grip on their purses. He stood well over 6 feet tall, his arms thick with years of riding, lifting, and surviving. His beard was dark and rough, his face marked by old scars that told stories no one ever bothered to ask about. Rowan had come to Walmart that day for something simple and forgettable: motor oil, a phone charger, maybe a frozen dinner. He was not prepared to become the center of a moment that would expose the deepest cracks and the quietest hope in his heart. When the small girl slammed into his legs and wrapped her arms around his waist, his first instinct was confusion, then panic. He stiffened, afraid that any movement might scare her, afraid of how this would look to the people already staring. The girl's name was Elora Finch, though Rowan would not learn it right away. She was small for her age, with tangled brown hair tied loosely with a faded ribbon and a yellow dress that looked a size too big. Her hands trembled as they clutched his vest, and her face pressed into his stomach as if hiding from the entire world. Elora was mute, unable to speak since birth, and the noise and chaos of the store had overwhelmed her. Moments earlier, she had been separated from her guardian, lost in a sea of strangers and echoing sounds. Fear had taken over, and in her panic, her instincts had chosen the man who looked the strongest, the most unmovable. To her, Rowan felt like shelter. People whispered. Some pulled out their phones. Others watched with suspicion, expecting anger or violence from the biker. Rowan felt all of it: the judgment, the assumptions, the weight of his past pressing down on him. He had spent most of his life being seen as a threat. Years ago, bad choices and worse company had nearly destroyed him, and though he had fought his way out, the world rarely noticed redemption when it wore leather and scars. His hands hovered awkwardly in the air, unsure if touching the child would make things worse. But then he felt her shaking, small shoulders trembling with silent sobs, and something inside him broke open. Slowly, carefully, Rowan lowered himself to one knee so he would not tower over her. The store's noise faded into a dull hum as he focused on the rhythm of her breathing. He rested one large hand lightly on her back, not pulling her closer, just letting her know she was not alone. His heart pounded harder than it ever had on the open road. He remembered being a scared child once too, long before the bikes and the ink, back when he had wished for anyone to feel safe with. That wish had never come true for him, but here it was now, unexpectedly placed in his arms. A store employee approached cautiously, followed by a woman running down the aisle with tears streaking her face. This was Maribel Finch, Elora's aunt and guardian, whose worst fear had come alive in the space of a few minutes. She froze when she saw her niece clinging to the biker, fear twisting into confusion. But before she could react, she saw something that stopped her breath: the way Rowan stayed perfectly still, the way his eyes were gentle, full of concern rather than threat. Elora did not let go when Maribel reached them. Instead, She looked up at Rowan with wide eyes and placed her small hand over his heart, feeling it beat fast and strong beneath the leather. Rowan did not speak much, but when he finally did, his voice was low and steady, explaining with simple words and calm movements what had happened. There was no anger, no defensiveness, only relief that someone had come for the child. The tension in the aisle slowly melted. Phones were lowered. Whispers softened. Maribel's fear turned into gratitude so intense it left her shaking. She understood then that her niece had not run to danger, but to safety in a form the world often misjudged. As the moment passed and Elora was gently guided back into her aunt's arms, something lingered between them all. Elora looked back again and again, her small fingers waving in a shy, uncertain goodbye. Rowan stood there long after they left, surrounded by the ordinary buzz of the store, feeling anything but ordinary. For the first time in years, he felt seen not as a mistake, but as a human being capable of protecting something precious. That single act of trust from a child who could not speak had spoken louder than words ever could. Near the end of your day, if this story has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, comment, and share it, because your engagement helps spread kindness further than you might imagine. Special request, before this video ends, please comment the word hope if you believe one small moment can change a life. Rowan walked out of Walmart into the bright afternoon sun feeling lighter than he had in decades. Elora went home still holding onto the memory of strong arms that did not hurt her, a reminder that safety can come from the most unexpected places. Two lives crossed for only a few minutes, yet both were changed forever. And somewhere between the aisles of a busy store and the open road beyond, a quiet miracle proved that kindness does not need a voice, it only needs a heart.